Hey, so I wanted to share a little short story that I wrote a while back because I believe that there's a message in there that could be beneficial for somebody out there. So, anyway, here we go. A young man decided to take a walk after he left work for the evening. It was a rough day for him. Nothing had gone right. He dealt with angry customers, careless coworkers, and dismissive managers that didn't want to give him the time of day unless they wanted him to do something above his pay grade, of course. As he strolled down the walking path near the park in his neighborhood, he couldn't help but ruminate on everything that he felt was wrong in his life. His finances were in a hole, he had been through multiple failed relationships, and it seemed like the universe thwarted every attempt at progress that he ever made. Disgruntled, he mumbled to himself, "God, why won't you just let me be happy? Why do I always have to go through so much to get so little? I'm so tired." Deciding that he needed a break from walking, he sat on a bench and looked up to the sky. As he stared at the clouds through watery eyes, he swore that they were all taking shape and replaying every negative thing that ever happened to him. "Damn," he said to himself, "even nature thinks I'm a loser." As his mind began to drift further, he was startled back into awareness when an older, middle-aged gentleman took a seat next to him. "Absolutely beautiful. The clouds, of course, not you. Not saying that you're ugly or anything, you're just not my type," he said. The young man scoffed and replied, "Ha! I'm glad you think so. I'd be happy if I never saw a single cloud again. They could just vanish from existence for all I care." The older gentleman raised his eyebrow and smirked as he responded, "And what fun would that be? Then it would just be blank. We'd have nothing to look at and allow our imagination to just run wild. It would be so boring." The young man rolled his eyes. "If that's what boring is, I will gladly take it." The older man let out a huge belly laugh. "Ha! Seems like you had a rough day, huh?" The younger man replied, "Try a rough life. It sucks. Life is just a massive shit show, and I have no idea what I'm even doing here." The older man slowly nodded, acknowledging the younger man's feelings. "Yep, it sure can be. But there are definitely some good things that come out of it too." The young man turned his head towards him. "I don't know, man. I wish that I could believe that." "Well, what's stopping you?" the old man replied. "Shit, I don't know. Evidence, maybe. Everything in my life is trash. I'm behind and I'm losing in life." The old man turned his body to face the young man and leaned in a little closer. "Are you sure that's the case? Or is that just what you focused on?" The young man was slightly taken aback by the question. "I think it's just reality." I mean, really, wouldn't you agree?" "Sometimes, yes," the old man replied. The young man was perplexed by his new acquaintance's response. "Can I ask you something?" he replied. The old man smiled broadly. "Why, of course, go right ahead." "You just seem so positive. Can you teach me how to be a happy person like you?" The older man looked up towards the sky, taking a moment before he gave the young man an answer. "I wish that I could tell you that there is a special secret, or that there's a method you could follow. I wish I could be one of those wise sages that can say with conviction that happiness is a choice, that it starts from within. But I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm really a happy person at all. All I know is that I appreciate the happy moments that I do have, and I choose to focus on the good in life. And after doing that for a while, it tends to add up. Now you answer me this. When you were looking up at the clouds earlier, what did you see?" The young man slouched back on the bench and threw his head up to the sky as he replied, "I saw reminders of every bad thing that has ever happened to me. It was as if they were mocking me." The old man replied, That's interesting. I can see why you would feel a certain type of way then. But let's try this on. Imagine that the sky is your life. It's a big, wide open canvas. And the clouds are all the things that happen in your life. Sometimes they show up and rain on your parade. Other times they just seem to hover over your head. But ultimately, they always end up passing on by. We don't always have control over the form the clouds take, but we can always control how we choose to see them and be at peace knowing that they will eventually be right on their way. At this moment, an epiphany hit the young man like a freight train. Maybe he really had been looking at his situation too harshly. Maybe he had been causing himself more suffering in his mind than what was necessary. Hit with a sudden wave of relief, he sat up and quickly turned towards the old man to thank him. But there was no one there. Confused, he leaned back on the bench and looked up to the sky again, right as a single cloud passed overhead.